Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to share with you guys not a quick little video, something, a video that's a little bit out of the usual. So one of you reached out to me, with the situation that you're sharing. I mean, basically you asked me if I face analysis paralysis, right? You have multiple avenues, potential paths you could go down in, but you don't feel confident enough in any one of them to go full forth, right? That's what analysis paralysis is. You're analyzing the whole situation so much that you're not even taking any action. But you go on to share a few more things that that paint the picture a lot better for me. You say that basically you have sometimes you feel great fear if any of this whole thing is going to work out. This whole online thing you're trying to carve, do a service path, whatever it be, will this even pan out to be something? I would go far as to assume that there's also certain characteristics that you're associating with somebody who embarks in this journey, and even that persona is at jeopardy because this whole thing might not even be a success. You didn't say these words. I'm saying this because it summarizes, basically your whole middle paragraph, right? There's great fear if this will even be something. Lastly, you share that your friends are, a lot of them are not doing much with their lives. A few of them are even unemployed, but they're partying and having fun, and something you're having trouble associating with. So what I'm going to try to do, man, is I'm going to try to give you a few, share with you a few mindsets that you can relate to possibly, and then give you practical shit that you can do day to day that can help you out. Because I've been there. When I came to America in 2012, I had multiple big shit at the same time going on, which all falls under the umbrella, which I like to call loss of identity, right? High school just ended. I basically ripped myself away from a lifestyle where we were trading emotion, on day to day, week to week at least, trading emotion by using different substances, drugs, alcohol, and that was who I was, who I am. That was who I was at that time, and then instantly I came to a place where I didn't really know anybody. I had no friends here. I didn't come here with my parents or family or anything, and it's a pretty common thing. We in America, a lot of people come alone to do their higher education, etc. But I was going through this stage where I was unable to associate and find my identity with anything, right? It was very strong, and it came from multiple directions, as I was saying, right? It was not just from who I was in terms of the friends I have, because a lot of times in high school, especially if you never change schools, you don't even, until you move away physically to college or something, you don't even know how much of it is you. Because even the things you think is cool, the shows you watch, the cars you like, the events you go to, is all somewhat also shaped by the people who are always around you, right? Whether that be your family members, your friends, and that's who you are. It's all mumble jumble. You don't know clear cut how much of it is directly from you. So when I came here, that line was very, starting to get very. It was starting to get questioned. That's for sure, right? Instantly, I find myself not far away from right here. A fucking couple buildings away in this dorm room with 4 other people talking about fucking football, and I'm sitting there on the bed thinking, what the fuck am I doing? So I share that with you to give you a little background that I get what you are, what you're looking at, right? And the advice I want to give may not sound the best. It's not going to sound the most righteous but it's what I did that shaped a few things in my life which changed everything, right? Number one, I ignored everybody. There was a good time, I think close to almost like 6 months to a year, where I turned off Facebook. I stopped talking to everybody. I would talk to my mom only here and there, but I was not really speaking much to anybody, right? I didn't have any friends here. I was just going to this stupid class. It was like, I barely had classes here. It was like 4 or 8 hours a week or something, right? But most of the time, I was just here, walking around, and I was getting involved in new friends, making new friends. Most of them were dead. They were actually authors. I finished high school without ever finishing an entire book, right? Fully. And then within the time from 2012 to 15, I think I read well over 100 books, right? I have a list of all the books I read, went through, starting with all the classics, Napoleon Hill, Get Rich, all this stuff, Success, really taking in the philosophy, right? I really resonated with these people to a great degree than ever before with anybody else, right? I don't have an older brother or anything while I was growing up. The way these books are written, this is why, the self-help books, that we just call it an umbrella, self-help. But the reason why these are so powerful is because they share with you their journey, not their techniques. You're reading about somebody's life, that he went through great pressure and maybe came from nothing, and takes you through the things that they had to go through to become something, right? And they share with you all the philosophy and the mindsets along with it, and it's very powerful, right? I soaked it in, and I fell in love with it, right? I read everything I could get that I liked, that was recommended. I started associating myself with YouTube, with people on YouTube, people who I never met, obviously in the day-to-day, but they share their experiences, and one of the biggest ones was Elliot Hulse. What the fuck is going on? Elliot Hulse, this YouTuber, has had a immense impact on me, right? To the point where I can say, like, I'll never be able to repay him, but if ever comes a day where, his great grandkids or his children are at like some kind of need and I realize it's them, I will drop whatever I'm doing at that point in my life and be at service to them, right? I associated with him with everything, and he's just a guy who started making videos on like exercise and stuff like that. But his philosophy on life, on how he moves, and his mindset towards it hit home. Point is, man, by shutting off, and this helps a lot if you're physically in a new environment, because then all the voices go down, right? If you're in a new environment where you don't know anybody, after some time you realize that all the people who talk around you, stuff like that, hey, let's go here, are you ready for this, or this event is here, blah 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 blah, all this stuff is gone down. Nobody invites you to jack shit. You're just here alone, and you wake up every single day thinking, what a day, what do I do today, what do I think about today, how about this book, how about this thing? It makes it a lot easier to recreate yourself. Literally, you're being born again. And I would advise this. I would push this. If you're I know this kind of stuff is, usually looked down upon by ignoring everybody and being that kind of extreme. But if my younger brother was going through this kind of same thing, this is what I would advise. I'll be like, hey man, go that direction. You're going to college here. Drop everything else. Shut everything off and spend time with yourself. Because that's like, without even finding out what SEO product you're going to sell first, this is self 100% of the time. Anything that even unlocks 1% closer to your core is always the right way to go. Always. Right? So I would go towards something like that, right? If you're not changing location or anything, start by hanging out less with people that you are already having problem associating with, right? Start getting involved in new literature, new ideas, new inspirations, whether that be video, audiobooks of people that you think they have got something, they think they're cool in a different way, think that they you idolize, right? That they have accomplished or in the journey to accomplishing great things. That's number one. Number two, man, is I've talked about this all the time, but this is something you would need more than anything else, and that is to meditate. There's I don't know what else to put for it, but just meditate. Just take it from me. If I have to say one thing that you definitely will help you no matter what, is this: 10 minutes a day, meditate. Period. Simple as that. I could write books on it. I could make 10 videos on it, or I could just say that one sentence. You just need something that is going to literally shut off all the other noises of the world, right? Am I gonna be something? Is it gonna work out? All this, what about that? Other pressures. Oh, now I'm turning off friends. Oh, somebody's messaging me. Is this okay? Do they think I'm weird that I'm not replying? Oh, sorry. You don't want too many problems though. Don't create too much. You don't want to make it like, you want to keep it simple because it's already difficult as it is. It's not a good time to get a new girlfriend or something, that's for sure. If you have a girlfriend right now or whatever, that's good. But I wouldn't advise trying to make new relationships with fucking girls and shit at this point or anything like that, because that's another bag of worms that is going to twirl you the fuck around, right? But meditate, man. It's going to help immensely hold everything, right? Every one step you take, it's going to solidify that step for you, instead of you being back and forth and contemplating between all directions, being tumbled around. All right, that's two. And the third thing I would say really is, man, I mean, since you probably don't have a lot of time to just be in that. I mean, I was going to college and taking loans and shit, whatever, you kind of had to get to coast. I don't know what your situation is. If it's something that you have to take action in and start selling something right now or going into some product, the sentiment, the direction I would come from is pure I guess the word is value, but I would say at service, right? A lot of times, and this took me so long, right, is to figure out what actually serves the fucking people. We get tumbled around in this, that's why it's a big question. What package are you serving? What are you giving? Because a lot of times we think that, oh, we can just do certain thing, oh yeah, I can rank a video for you. Okay, and then you get into confusion because you think that there's other people who just ranking one little video for now I'm bringing it down to actual practical, right? Ranking one little YouTube video for some guy for a random little city or neighborhood, and yes, I'm making $500 for this per month, and you're thinking really, you can monetize a little one video that doesn't bring any clicks, calls, whatever, and you can get 500 for it? That kind of shit confuses you. It confuses people. What can we even monetize? It puts the whole thing up in there. I would stick to the direction of pure, even if you can't deliver this now, but this is the direction you should go towards, is to basically be able to serve them clean cut. Yes, this is what I would like to go towards, because once I accomplish that, I master this, I will be able to directly grow their business, right? I was tumbling from ranking little, long tail keywords and then ranking for main terms, and then now, eventually came to a point where I'm hey, I want to just generate calls, right? This is something practical. If I generate a business 20, 30 qualified calls per month, and they're closing a certain amount to make $5, $10, $20,000, they can justify $1,000, $2,000. It just makes sense. It wasn't always like that. In the beginning, I was trying to justify that by just showing rankings. Hey, you're ranked here, so pay me $1,000. And it's a massive dissociation. As you get better at sales, you can pull off all kinds of bells and whistles and make crazy shit happen. It does, right? There's people out there who's selling shit that doesn't really even fulfill the amount of money they're getting paid back for it, but they can do it, right? Maybe they have a big agency, maybe they're master at sales, whatever it is. But I would, at this point, go in the direction of pure value, right? You are clean cut, learning something, moving towards a direction where you can be Mr. Client, Mr. Thing, this is what I do, this is what I've mastered, and this is what has done other people, and this is the results it brings. Because when all things break down, or when everything is breaking down, it'll break down multiple times from multiple directions in your life. You're at least going to have yourself. You're at least going to have yourself, right? When everything else is not working out and something like that, and it's all having trouble, when you sit down and you really contemplate, like, why the fuck is nothing working out? You'll at least have the voice inside who backs you up, who says that, man, all this stuff you tried, but fuck, at least you're moving in a direction which will actually serve the other people, which will actually be helpful to their business, to their lives. And when you're moving in that direction, you are going to eventually come to a point where you surpass the average, where you surpass what is being sold most of the times, because most of the shit just doesn't work, right? When you come from that point, it is going to eventually work out, okay? So I hope that helped, man. Those are the 3 ideas I would advise. And no matter what happens, just keep at it, keep going at it. It's not easy. It's if it was, then a lot of people wouldn't, then the averages wouldn't be like that, right? So keep at it, man. You're in a position that's very pure. You're going through a change that's, I would almost say, you like relish in it, right? Relish in the uncertainty that you don't know what's going to work out. Relish in the brokenness even, right? Of not having enough to do certain things, but you're moving in the path in a certain way. Relish in that, because you are going to get out of it if you stay in this manner. Peace.